Welcome to round one action of the Rotax Max South African Karting Championship here from Killarney in Cape Town. And we head straight into the Junior Max category for 2019. And expect big action from the Cape Town boys, Ools, Bishop and Olenchek.
Junior Max, goodness me, there's a few names there that could do it, ranging from Joseph Oltz to young Kyle Visser, who's moved up from a fairly dominant win in Mini Max last year. Several others can upset that apple cart. Kwanda Mokoena, who's I would often put money on, is a little off the pace at the moment, but he always tends to come right when the racing begins. So I would watch Kwanda with great interest. Akil Alibi is very quick. So it'll be a good fight whichever way it goes.
The way it's gone so far, Olenchek ahead of Ools and Bishop. So three Cape Townians on the front rows. Kwanda Mokoena, the first of the Gauteng boys, there in fourth place ahead of Akil Alibi. Then it's Ethan Kutsia. And interesting to see Kyle Visser so far down. Watch out for him. He'll be looking to come through the field rapidly in this first heat.
We managed to get a lap together, and it was a flyer, and qualifying was hectic. Everybody was slowing down, trying to get into the pack. So we were very happy to get a good lap in. Clean lap.
Do you like the new style of qualifying with everybody on the same time, or do you prefer the one lap scenario?
No, to me, I like this 10-minute quali because it gave it a certain sort of difficulty, because you had to find a good spot to get a lap in, because you had to get a clean lap in because everybody was slowing down. So it was difficult. So it's good because it's very competitive in quali.
Well, it's a great start for Borough Art. The kart felt great in qualifying. Big thanks to Kari for the great setup, and of course my dad for all the hard work on the kart. The kart felt really good. It was apexing very nicely. Maybe just a touch less grip, and maybe we could have qualified pole.
Home track, always a good place to start. What is the strategy, and who are the guys you have to watch out for?
Well, I think we got to use an attacking strategy. We got to try to get to the front, maybe get a breakaway, try not get tangled up in the first corner, and just try and get free from the pack.
The guys to watch out for, because there's a bunch of old hands, even juniors, if I can call them old hands, but there's also a couple of new guys.
Look, I think everybody could take a win. It's like the pack is so close. I couldn't say anybody because everybody's on the pace. It's going to be an interesting race today, but we're hoping for the best. Also
a big change for you, because you guys used to be these little independents. Now you're part of Borough Art.
Yeah, it's a big step up. We're getting used to things because being with a big team, we got to go out to supper with them, and we've got to obviously do what the team does and follow team orders. But so far, it's been great with Borough Art, and we hope to have a great season.
In free practice, it wasn't very good. We were quite off the pace. We seem to find a good way of getting onto the pack. I mean, qualifying was mayhem. Trying to get a good lap in, everyone was just slowing down for me. But I'm pretty sure with this year ahead is going to be very good. I think we'll have a lot of pace in all the tracks, and I'm looking forward to this year.
Who are the guys in the class to watch out for?
Well, I think everyone from first to sixth is someone that I need to keep my eye out for, because I mean everyone in that qualifying session was at least from first to sixth about 4 tenths apart.
Strategy for the race tomorrow?
I'm thinking maybe if I get in the front, just let the others dice behind me and just get a nice gap.
Yeah, it's been a tough weekend. Started off like around the second off pace, but slowly started to bridge the gap. So now coming into quali, we were expecting maybe like a top 5. We'd be happy with that, and we got 4th, so we're quite happy with that. It's like 0.1 off of pole, so it's nothing. So it's all about the race tomorrow.
It's a circuit you like. You've done well here in the past. Last season, you and Leighton dominated here. So what's the strategy for the race?
Just try and get to the front and hopefully work with somebody to bridge away, to pull away.
Hopefully, Cape Town is quite of a tough track because you always need a tow, but here the Cape Town drivers, they don't like to give you a tow. So to get a good qualifying is quite tough, but I managed to pull through 5th, so it's okay. Hopefully I do good in the races to put me first in the championship.
Who other guys in the class that you have to watch out for?
Ted Bishop, Troy Dolanchik, Kwanda Mokoena, Oels, and Kyle Visser.
This fortunately a track allows for lots of overtaking. It allows for a nice draft up the back straight. How are you going to tactically handle it?
Just stay behind the people, and when I mustn't make stupid maneuvers, make good overtakes and have a clean race.
The national championship qualifying didn't go as good as expected, obviously, because I came in a crash. But SARMC, yeah, it started quite good. Got a second and a third. So it's quite good.
This weekend, you're now in the junior class, you've moved up, you're the defending champion in minis, but now it's a new class. Who are the guys in the class? Because it's a very competitive class.
Really, the people from Joburg, they aren't so competitive here, because remember, it's our home track. So mostly the competitive people are mostly Tate Bishop and Troy Dolanchik.
What's the plan for this weekend?
Just to, after the crash in qualifying, I'll just try and make back first four people will be quite easy to pass, but the rest will quite be a battle to come with.
The weekend so far, it's been quite tough. Us Joburg boys coming in, and the Cape Town boys just completely, you're just running away. And I think it's taken a bit of time to catch up to the pace, but I think we've got it now. I think, yeah, it's a really great track, and because they were just so used to it, they just kept on running away.
What's your plan for the weekend?
My plan for the weekend, I think, since this is my first national, I think I just want a top 6 finish. Just in the beginning, have a good start, stick with the front pack, and yeah.
It's really nice to have it at our home circuit. It's always tough to go out and drive at someone else's circuit, so it's nice to have it here at your home circuit that you know well.
You're doing 2 classes. You're one of those guys, like quite a few guys, Michael Stephen, there's a bunch of these guys doing 2 classes. Do you find that very difficult?
Yeah, I do find it very difficult. When you have to get out of one and straight into another one, it's very hard to adapt from the one to the other, because they drive very differently and they physically differently. Yeah.
Talk to me about juniors, your prospect for the weekend there.
We're going to try be near the front. If we have a bit of luck, hopefully we'll get up there.
Qualifying made it difficult, eh?
Yeah, unfortunately we didn't have the best qualifying, so it's really going to make it hard in the first race tomorrow. So we're going to have to pull it out the bag and try get up there.
So they're lined up now, ready for the first race of the season in Junior Max. 417 out front there. Watch out for the battle expected at the front end. Tate Bishop is definitely going to be a man to watch out for. Look out for Joseph Oels. Ethan Kutsia going to be pushing hard from the word go. So is Akil Alibai, who's already starting to apply the pressure there in that mid-pack. He slots up into 3rd place. He's got Oels around the outside, which might be a concern. And just losing out there. Yeah, Bishop making a great start. But this is what Junior Max is all about. And there's no holds barred here, that is for sure.
It'll be interesting to see if we see a repeat of the previous last year's national, where the Western Province boys couldn't quite seem to keep each other off each other and end up taking each other out of every heat.
Great start from Carl Visser. He's up in about 5th place there, and he'll be looking to charge through. He's already, make that 6th place. He's already onto the back end of that front pack, but it's Dolanchik who leads things out as they're going to come across the line for the first time, and right on his tail. They are just lining up to get through there. This is going to be a battle royal. Oels already starting to make some maneuvers there, and slowly but surely applying the pressure. He is pushing Tate Bishop to the maximum as they went into turn 1 there.
Yeah, Tate Bishop already going defensive so early on in the race. Defensive again into the first 180s. This is just going to make a mess of 3 carts joining them now. But Troy Dolanchik driving himself wide off the track, and Tate able just to drive around the outside. And same with Joseph Oels as they head into the chicane. It's allowed Akil Alibai and Carl Visser to come through as well.
Yeah, good maneuvering there from those guys. Well aware of what was happening just ahead of them. Keeping an eye not only on the cart just in front, but the 3 carts ahead of that. And now just a whole change up there. As you can see, Dolanchik manages to squeeze out one of the carters there. Akil Alibai losing out. And then you can see as they come through, oh man, Alibai comes straight onto the back end. He is bringing Visser along for the ride. Visser onto the back end of Akil Alibai as they try to close down on Oels. And you can see Tate Bishop. Oh, what a move from Visser. And Visser gets a tag. A little tap going into turn 1. And oh, that was huge. I wasn't quite sure if everybody was going to make it through there, and that was not the way you want to go through turn 1, particularly when there's a cart right in front of you. The 482 of Lawrence Chianfanelli, unfortunately with a massive moment there coming through turn 1.
Yeah, All's looking for his radiator flap now and wants to cool down the motor, obviously running a little bit harder than the rest. Akil Alibi losing out to Dolenchek down the back straight. As with all the other classes, this back straight is super important. Big slipstreams as they head down the back there. But All's making the move from OTK to Burrell Art, and he's swarmed by OTK carts.
Yeah, look at this. That RKT machine is going well as they come across the line. Akil Alibi trying to close down there on the 417. And, it's so good to see this. As they come under braking there, you can see just how hard these carts are having to work. These carts are so evenly matched. The driving skills of each of these drivers also, take it right through the top 10. In fact, make it the top 12. In fact, I'd say just the whole field here. So good and great to see this.
Yeah, the 427 of Storm Lanfear getting past Ethan there. Storm Lanfear also competing in the senior match class as well, so getting a lot of driving time as we see Kwanda Mokoena just getting onto the back of Akil Alibi there as they head through Golf Club.
Kwanda didn't have the start he wanted, but we haven't really mentioned him in this first heat at all, and now he starts to become a threat, and he was always a threat at the front end of one of these races. Across the line though, it's a little bit of a margin opening up there, and the 494 of Tate Bishop just capitalizing on these guys who are fighting behind him. If they continue to fight as hard as what they're doing right now, it might just play into his hands.
Kwanda Mokoena getting past Akil Alibi there, so he's obviously got a bit of turn of pace, a bit of race pace compared to qualifying. Moved his way up into 4th place. Now head down and move on to catch the front boys.
That 4th place battle's not done yet though. Kart 14 is coming, and he means business. Akil Alibi wanting past on his stablemate as they go through there. And now as they come around, look at this. Absolutely nothing in it between those two. How evenly matched the two of them through that corner. Very good corner speed from the two of them, but they haven't got quite the edge just yet to close in on this man in the Burrell Art. And right out front, the angry man is looking angry. There's no doubt about it. Absolutely awesome stuff.
Tate Bishop hungry for a win there. He's been doing very well in the regionals here. But Joseph All's also trying to move his way up there. He's been showing Troy Dolenchek, let's move forward together, but Troy's having none of it. He's passed through and up into second to go on to Tate Bishop.
I think Dolenchek's saying to Ools, let me show you the way around. Not quite on the pace that I want. I need a little bit extra pace because I've got to close that gap down. And he's almost done it instantaneously there. Tate Bishop will look right back into the clutches and not see the gold helmet anymore. He's now going to be seeing Dolenchek, who's closing down. And Dolenchek pulling away from Ools. Ools will have to look back and watch out for Mokoena and Alibi.
Yeah, the Scottish Corsa boy there, Kwanda Mokoena, showing some real race pace, starting to get away from Akil Alibi and getting onto the back of Joseph Ools. So we could possibly see a 4-way fight for the lead or 2 groups here.
I think there's going to be 2 groups. There's no doubt about it right now. The meat and the sandwich between these 2 groups as we see him dive on the inside from Dolenchek to take the lead. Squeezing through, and Tate Bishop had to give that one up.
Looking for the cutback to the second 180 though. Unable to get it done, but he'll have a good drive down the back straight, and that possibly a move into Golf Cup.
Nice, comfortable driving style there from him. Is he not getting too flustered by that maneuver? He knows there's still a long way to go in this first heat. There's still a long way to go in the championship. I'm going to be throwing things too far much down the road, and we're throwing it off the road at all, like we saw with Carl Visser. Big mistake there, and it has cost him dearly.
Yeah, Tate Bishop competing in both series, so getting a lot of driving. Also competing overseas, so getting a lot of experience. So I expect him to show that experience here. He's just sitting quietly behind Troy Dolenchek, letting him lead the way, making his life a little bit easy.
If you look at the lap times, they're very evenly matched, all of them in the 42s, so literally there's only a couple of hundredths of a second between them. So to give yourself a bit of breathing room and
big dive.
A chance to dive like that, Kwanda Mokoena goes through, and so does Akil Alibi. Ools is just dropping back here big time. I think Joseph Ools got a massive problem there and could potentially be in a bit of trouble. Let's see if he's able to stick onto the back end and make a maneuver here and return the favor on both Alibi and Mokoena.
But as we know with the junior match class, it's never over till it's over. These boys do get a little bit excited sometimes and look for moves that aren't really there towards the end of the race, and they're all excited to win the first heat of the Nationals.
Across the line they come again. Dolenchek ahead of Bishop. So it's Cape Town in the house. The 2 Gauteng boys now, the meat and the sandwich between those Cape Town boys. As you see Ools there in 5th place. Now under braking for the 180s. And this is so close. Alibi applying a bit more pressure than before. Oh, we got a spinner. That's Bishop. Bishop spun out. Tate Bishop spinning out completely and losing 1, 2, 3, 5. And it looks like, it's the leaders. It's both of them. So Tate Bishop spinning out there with Troy Dolenchek. Must have been an issue through the 180s, and the 2 of them have now dropped right to the back of the pack.
As I said before, it's never over till it's over. So now this, being the second group, is now a front group with Kwanda Mokoena leading it out from Akil Alibi and Joseph Ools.
Not a bad effort there. Gifted them at the moment for 1, 2, and 3. not what they were expecting, that's for sure. Ethan Kutsia just in the background. He's also been gifted 4th place as he tries to hang on and close the gap down to these guys. But the pace that these three are running are slightly quicker than what we're getting out of Kutsia at this point. Let's see whether or not he can make up that ground. Top 3 finish and a top 3 finish out of either one of these. I can tell you, any one of these guys can win this one.
Yeah, Kutsia had to fight his way up into that 4th place, so lost a bit of gap on these front 3. So unless they start tripping over each other, he's not going to make that gap up.
Akila Levi looks the most dangerous at this point. Let's see if we can keep an eye on him. But Joseph Wools, as I said, wants to return that favour. He lost out to both of them on a little bit of a wide manoeuvre through the 180s. Kwanda's now opening up about a cart length over Akila Levi. That might be enough to just maintain. No, can't. Not under braking. Levi is good under braking, and so is Wools. The two of them close that gap down almost instantaneously.
He managed to pull just a cart length there out of turn 1, so he's able to keep the gap into the first 180. Second 180s, he doesn't seem as strong as Akil, so now this gives Akil the drive down the back straight, and the move will be on into Golf Club.
Akil is going to look for that maneuver. Look at that. Oh, Kwanda saw him coming. Put his head over the right shoulder and spotted him coming. Dived to the right and just blocked the move. So maybe that was just a sighter. We'll have to wait and see. He sets it up for a bit later on. We may see that maneuver stick, and I think Akila Levi is looking dangerous.
Yeah, Kwanda Makwena, they're getting another gap through the pit chicane. So out of every corner, he's just getting that half a car length, so the move just isn't on under the brakes into turn 1.
Turn 1 is where they are right now, as you said, spot on, but now into the 180s. There you go. Oh, hello. Where's Makwena? Makwena's driving the wheels of his cart. Oh, can you believe that luck? That is not what Kwanda Makwena wanted right now. You can see he's not happy about that. The front left wheel just goes flying off his cart. Akila Levi has now been gifted the opportunity to take the win, and Joseph Wools looking for second place. Or can he possibly get ahead of that RKT machine of a Levi?
Such an unfortunate thing to happen to Makwena. Happened last year as well. It's just unfortunate. I don't think there was a mechanical error. Well, from the mechanic side, there must have just been a failure.
Can you believe that? It's not what you want, though. That is for sure. Not when you've been fighting so hard and you've been gifted the possible victory. You think you've got it all in the bag, and the next thing, something goes flying off the cart. Anyway, it's not done just yet. Akila Levi is going to have to fight and fend off the attack coming from Joseph Wools. Although it's 2 cart lengths back, I don't know if Wools has got the same kind of pace as what we're seeing out of a Levi.
Yeah, Levi definitely got the race pace over Wools, and he's pulling further and further. There's the failure, snap stud on Kwanda Makwena's cart.
Oh, what a pity there for the youngster, but I'm sure that he'll be back. That's quite easy to fix, and they'll get that cart sorted out by the time he gets back into action for race 2 later on today. Coming through to complete the last couple of meters of this race, Akila Levi going to take the win. Joseph Wools going to hang on for second place, and in fact, a new lap record being set there of a 42.169 from Joseph Wools. Ethan Kutsia comes through for third place. Storm Lanphier takes fourth ahead of Tate Bishop, Jordan Brooks, and then it was Bungani ahead of Carl Visser, who eventually finished in 8th.
I wasn't really aiming for first place in the middle of the race, but luckily towards the end of the race a few things happened which I managed to get first, so I'm really happy about that.
Heats 2 and 3 coming up. Where are you going to start the next heat?
I think I'm starting 5th, so I just need to put my head down, focus, stay out of trouble and hopefully win.
Staying out of trouble in a pack like this is not easy to do. We've seen a lot of the top contenders in trouble in heat number 1. Let's see now what happens in heat 2 as Joseph Wools leads them out. Alongside him, it is Troy Dolenchek, and behind them is a pack of drivers all wanting that first place, including Carl Visser, who's now going to make up a lot of ground after a really dismal outing. And already action into turn 1. Is Visser involved? Yes, he is. Visser runs wide. Akila Levi stuck in that action too. That's left Tate Bishop to fend off the attack coming from not the usual contenders. You've got Storm Lanphier in there, and watch out for Ethan Kutsia, who had a much better start here in race number 2.
And once again, we seem to be missing Kwanda Makweena as well. So Kwanda Makweena having a dismal time at this Cape Town National. First of failure, and now missing out of the fray. There he is there in the back, just behind 4 and 6.
And look at their inside. Carl Visser 477 slowing up dramatically. He was on the inside of that shot. There was the left-hand side of the shot, and I think he'll be peeling into pit lane. There's a lot of damage on his cart, and I don't think he's going to be able to recover from that. He's going to try and fight from the back. I did see him go flying through the chicane. Maybe he was able to drive through it, but with damage on the front end like he's got, it's not going to give him the ability to get through the field like he wants to.
Yeah, it's been unfortunate for Carl Visser. He was definitely one of the favourites from Friday afternoon practice, setting the lap time screens alight as Ethan has a big dive on Storm Lanphier, gets the move done, And that's just allowed Jordan Brooks there to have a look around the outside of the second 180, but that move's never going to work.
No, you're not going to get it there, but he's going to try and stay on the back end. It's interesting to see the size difference there in the drivers, although the ages are pretty similar. Storm Lanphier having to defend off a slightly smaller driver, and Brooks is thinking, hang on a second, I can use this to my advantage. I've got a slightly bigger man I can use. Quantum Mokoena is ticking them off one by one, but just confirmation that his stablemate has pulled into the pit lane and out of this one. There you see him, and what a pity there. It's been a nightmare of a day there for Kyle Visser. Not the way he wanted to start his championship, that's for sure.
Yeah, Joseph Wools capitalizing on all the mess behind him and pulling a small gap there on Tate Bishop and Troy Dolenchek.
Very evenly matched lap times and evenly matched best speeds as well. These guys lapping at almost 90 k's an hour. That is absolutely amazing to see. And these youngsters holding nothing back. Brooksy losing out as Kwanda finds a way past. Jordan comes back at him though, as Kwanda ran a little wide out of the second 180s. Wasn't able to close that gap down. But out front, battle continuing. Ools is disappearing at the front end. And you can see just how difficult it is there for Dolenchek to try and close him down. Tate Bishop still in third place. And looks like Ethan Kutsia maintaining a good possibility of keeping out Kwanda Mokoena and Storm Lanphier, as well as Akil Levi. Now, just in the background, I picked up on Levi. He's not too far off. He's got a bit of work to do there. You see him coming through. And Levi now bringing the rest of the pack along for the ride. And that's going to be a hard day in the saddle there for Kian Finelli and, of course, Ndamisa Bongani.
Troy Dolenchek there getting close onto the back of Joseph Wools as we head into lap 6 of 15. Tate Bishop, unfortunately, doesn't have the pace that Troy does, so he hasn't been able to get back into the battle. But like I said in previous heat, it's not over till it's over with these junior match boys.
Kwanda Mokoena has closed that gap down rapidly and now could potentially be in with a chance of closing in on Kutsia and getting through, and exactly what he does on cue, but Kutsia comes back at him as Kwanda runs off. Well, Kwanda, you've seen your kart already break with no off-track excursions. You don't want to be going off-track, buddy, otherwise you're going to be causing even more damage. Hopefully you'll be able to get that one all sorted out. Right, front end though, Dolenchek is closing. And looks like we might have a bit of a fight on for first and second. Third place, comfortable, all on his own sim. Then the 427 comes flying through there of Storm Lanphier. But there's the man to watch out for. As I was saying earlier on, Kwanda Mokoena, if he finds that pace, gets the rhythm, stops making the mistakes we've just seen from him, he'll definitely have a chance of getting onto the podium.
Yeah, Kwanda Mokoena pushing hard to get to the front, so I think he's just getting a little bit excited. But Troy Dolenchek looking very, very excitable there behind Joseph Wools. He looks like he might want to have a move here into the first 180, just a kart length off, unable to get close enough.
Now that Cosmic is definitely putting on some big pressure onto the barrel out front, so let's see whether or not it's able to give him the chance to take the win, take the lead, and hang on for the win, more importantly. Coming down the back straight, he pulls out. Good maneuvering, perfect timing, and sets up the slingshot down the back straight and into the lead. Dolenchek, absolutely perfectly done there from that young driver. But Ools, I think, is not given up just yet.
Ools has always been very strong through this pit chicane, even when I was running him in the junior classes. So he'll be looking to have a move into turn 1. Is he close enough now? No, not this lap.
Well, hang tight there. Maybe give him a chance, have a little bit of a breather. Get a chance to just recoup and set things up for a bit later on. You don't want to go too early, because as we've seen in a couple of the heats that we've covered here today, what happens is if you go too early, there's a chance for your driver to come back and your opponent to come back at you. So you've got to time it to perfection and hopefully keep the gaps closed to the checkered flag.
Yeah, you end up being a sitting duck here down the back straight in the last lap, and it's very difficult to defend down here because of the slipstream. But very strong into Golf Club, Troy Dolenchek, very late in the brakes there, but it just seems like Joseph Wools gets the drive out of the second part of it and gets him right back onto his bumper.
It's nice to see these two not holding anything back here as they go into the closing stages here of heat number 2 of our junior max category. And really, these youngsters are certainly showing that they've got what it takes and showing that we have got a chance of potentially sending some very hot contenders for the World Finals later this season.
Yeah, definitely one of the top 6 hungry to take a win as the camera pans away to Ethan Kutsia there battling with Kwanda Mokoena. Kwanda Mokoena looking for a way past him again after his earlier mistake, but he's got him past Storm Lanphier.
Lanphier with a slightly different driving style, looks through the corner as opposed to everybody else who kind of keeps their eye on the prize in front of them. It's not a bad thing to do because you are watching where you could be. And now it's difficult for him to get behind the steering wheel. He's a slightly taller boy and he tries to tuck behind that steering wheel. But it does help him a little bit. He's certainly used that slipstream and the aerodynamic ability it gives you to close in on the back end of Mokoena. And Mokoena looks dangerous. Mokoena heading down towards turn 1 could potentially take this position away, and Ethan Kutsia will have to go defensive.
Big dive down the inside now into turn 1. Does he make it happen this time without running wide? Yes, he does, and keeps it on the black stuff. Well done, Kwanda.
Looking back just to make sure that he's got it all to perfection, and he has. Storm Lanphier now going to do the same thing as they go into the 180s. Kutsia going to have to fend off the attack now from the big man in the Cosmic.
Yeah, Storm Lamphere, definitely one of the taller drivers there. He's going to struggle on the back straight. Troy Donachik just getting car length there on Joseph Ools, so Joseph Ools going to have to put his head down now and close that gap so he doesn't lose him towards the end of the race. 11 laps to go, 15. We see Jordan Brooks pulling over to the side there. Obviously an issue with his car as we head into the later part of those races.
That's not what he wants, that's for sure. Jordan Brooks pulling to the sideline now and dropping to second last in the standings on our timing monitor. But as they come through here, the battle is on for the lead. Donachik and Ools have been fighting, but with them fighting, it has slowed them down ever so slightly, and all of a sudden we're seeing Tate Bishop not too far off the back. Let's see where he is right now. There he comes. Bishop on a move here, and definitely looking to get in amongst these guys if he can. Tate Bishop certainly wants to try and make a maneuver if he can. Jordan Brooks, whatever the issue was, he's got it sorted. He's back in it again, but I think he's a lap down, so you'll have to just keep an eye out on that maneuver.
Joseph Ools getting past Troy Donachik there as they went into Golf Club. Just out of shot as we were focusing on Tate Bishop. They head now into turn 1. Troy Donachik being very quick out of turn 1 and will be needing to get past or get onto the back of Joseph as soon as possible with very little laps remaining.
You said the little fight between them, though, is slowing them up. I wonder if Tate Bishop's pit boards are going to be telling him that. He knows, and he can probably see it. He can see that they're edging ever so slightly closer. And he's hoping something goes wrong with the two of them. And that's the kind of thing he's hoping for. A little wide maneuver there from Donachik as he comes onto the back straight. If that keeps happening, there's going to be some problems with those tyres. They're not going to grip as well. And those mojos are going to be crying out saying, listen, keep me on the black stuff. That's what I like.
Yeah, you can see the gap just grow there from that mistake. 2 car length gap, but like Cape Town, unlike any other circuit, 2 car lengths can become 0 very, very quickly as they head onto on the last lap.
Yeah, there's Bishop just in the background. So it's now Ools hanging on. Donachik in second.
It's going to have to be a do or die here for Troy as he tries to break around the outside. He's not going to make. He's coming back for the cutback, but it's too.
Whoa! That was a huge one. Man, and they lock together. Those two are locked together. The Brill eventually gets going again. Here comes Tate Bishop. Bishop around the outside. Can Ools keep him out? Yes, Ools just managed to keep him out. The two of them locking up there. Donachik and Ools coming together. Donachik tried that very late maneuver, as you said. Tries the cutback. Gets up the inside. The two wheels lock. And there's a mojo tire over the back right shoulder of Joseph Ools. Ools then just pulls the Cosmic trailer back onto the circuit. And as soon as he bumps onto the circuit, he gets going again. Just in time to avoid the attack coming from the second of those machines. And how he hang on for this one, I have no idea. But what a valiant effort there from Joseph Ools to beat out Tate Bishop. Bishop should have taken that one easily after the maneuver he just saw pulled into the 180s. Wow, how's that for a finish? I didn't expect that, that's for sure. But Donachik, the biggest loser out there, dropping down to third place, eventually getting back on track. He had enough space to play to beat out Kutsia, Lamphere, Akila Levi, Kwanda Mokoena, and Lorenzo Cianfanelli. Into Heat 3 now, and it's Akila Levi who leads things out. Alongside him, Joseph Ools, the winner of race number 2, only just. How he managed to hang on to that one, only he knows. And there you can see the big protagonist tucked in behind Akila Levi. That's Troy Donachik. And Donachik already starting to apply the pressure. Storm Lamphere is going with him as they go into turn number 1. And as they fly through turn 1, everybody else seems to have got through there clean and clear. But it's Akila Levi who's got the whole shot and leads into the 180s.
Yeah, the inside row, they got a much better start than the outside row, and unfortunately that cost Joseph Ools quite a bit. He tried to go around the outside, but it didn't quite work for him, and himself and Tate Bishop found themselves a little bit further down than they wanted to be.
So here they come onto the back straight for the first time. Donachik followed by Lamphere, then it's Ools, then you can see Kwanda Mokoena. Carl Fiss is back into this one. Hopefully he finishes this one. Carl Fiss has had a nightmare of a weekend. Not the way he wanted to start his maneuver, that's for sure, into Junior Max. But let's see if he gets it all right now in the second part of the day's racing. And in fact, the third part of the day's racing. There's Tate Bishop. And under braking, there you see a change up for the lead. Akila Levi losing out to Donachik. Lamphere running so well in third place at this point. Really great to see this man pushing so hard. And Ools all over the back of him with Mokoena starting to close that gap down.
Yeah, Fisser being the man with the pace on Friday. Unfortunately unable to turn that into race wins. Just a little bit, a couple of silly mistakes and some unfortunate incidents that weren't his, dropping him down the field. But he looks like he's strong this heat and just needs to tag onto the back there and help his way up the field.
Big crowds out here to watch this kart action in Killarney, and they're loving every minute of it as they come across the line to complete another lap. Donachik from a Levi, Lamphere from Ools. That's how they come through turn 1. Just behind them, they're lining up, and they're lining up right behind Kwanda Mokoena. Carl Fiss is in that one as well. And look out for a maneuver coming through from Fiss. And Fiss has actually got through. He's right on Mokoena's tail now as they go into the 180s. So watch out for those two. Going to be fighting hard for top stable honours, that's for sure.
Tate Bishop seems to have dispatched Kwanda Mokoena there. He's got his head down now to get onto the front group. He's pulled a couple of cart legs as Carl Fisser looks down the inside of Mokoena into Golf Club. It'll be interesting to see if he got it done as we come out of the second part of Golf Club. Storm Lamphere struggling a bit out of that part, and it's allowed Joseph Ulls onto the back of him.
I'm not quite sure if Fisser was able to make that one stick. I think McQuena kept him out. Yes, he has. McQuena's just kept him out. As they come there, Tate Bishop under attack. And the angry man about to be caught and possibly passed by Kwanda McQuena into turn 1. He didn't get him into turn 1. He's definitely going to go like this man is doing right now on Lanfear. Ulls through. Lanfear demoted down to 4.
Yeah, Lanfear just tried to hold it on the outside there and unfortunately bogged, so he couldn't get the move done through the second 180 to get back with Joseph Ulls, and he's given Ulls a little bit of breathing room just to focus on the front. Dolenchik and Alibai.
Yeah, here they come into Golf Club. Ulls pulling a margin now, getting away from Storm Lanfear, and Storm doesn't have an answer just yet to the pace there of the Burrell for third. He is under attack though from Tate Bishop as Bishop closes right onto his tail as they come through into that chicane and onto the main straight.
Angry man will be looking down the inside here as they head into turn 1. Here comes a move, hard on the brakes, nice, neat, tidy, couldn't get it done though.
Lanfear saw him coming, just shut the door. Have to make another maneuver somewhere else. Here we are, maybe into the 180s. This time he slides it in there, so he's not quite getting the braking as late as what we're seeing out of Storm Lanfear. Lanfear doing a super job to fend off this attack coming from that angry cart behind him.
And that's the one place height does help. You can stop the carts a little bit faster than those behind you. Tate Bishop able to get on the inside there and get it done down the back straight though.
Your Fisser is all over McQuena. McQuena is in trouble. Carl Fisser looking for a chance, and Lanfear held him off ever so slightly. I wonder if that might have just cost him a little bit of time. It has, because look at that, they've all bunched up now behind Tate Bishop. All waiting, looking for a chance. Top 3 go through. Here's the 4, 5, 6 and 7th place battle. They come into turn 1.
Big battle now between the 4 of them. Storm Lanfear looking to get back past Tate Bishop. He does have the pace to run with Tate Bishop. Maybe a couple of mistakes earlier on allowed Tate Bishop to catch up to him. But there's McQuena, big dive into the second 180. And he's got it done. Does it allow Fisser up the inside into the chicane as well?
Oh, clips the curb though, coming out. That might cost him a little bit of time. No, it hasn't really. But no, Fisser wasn't able to get through there. Lanfear saw him coming. Brooks just behind that. They're lining up there. There is nothing in it between these guys. This is top quality kart racing coming out of our Junior Max heat number 3.
Yeah, Lanfear getting mobbed there by everybody behind him, unfortunately. So he's in a little bit of trouble as you look at the front group again. It's Dolenchik, Alibai, and Ulls again out in the front. 8 laps done of this very long 20-lap final.
Yeah, almost at the halfway stage and still another 12 to go for these guys. But really, I can see that on the sideline they're starting to be concerned because there is a gap that's opened up between the top 3 and the bottom, 6 of the top 10 there. And those 6 karts are losing ground rapidly here. This little in-house fight here might help them out a little bit as Akil Levi loses out to Joseph Ulls. It's just saying those two fighting so hard, they are starting to lose a little bit of time there to the man out front, Troy Dolenchik.
Joseph Ulls are looking fighting here. It looks like he's got the later race pace over the OTK of Akil Alibai. And now he needs to get his head down and get onto the back of Troy Dolenchik because Troy Dolenchik slowly getting away from these two.
Yeah, come flying through there. It's absolutely brilliant stuff as they head onto that straight towards the 180s. Now on the brakes, Ulls hangs on behind him. Oh, Akil Alibai was late on the brakes, but not late enough to do anything about that barrel art in front of him. As we're getting into the next part of this race, it is 17 of 20. There is 3 laps to go. As they come across the line, the top 3 very evenly matched now. Dolenchik is in trouble. He had that breathing room, he's lost it. And Ulls has basically brought him down. And the reason why, Ulls has just gone quickest we've ever seen out of a Junior Max here in Cape Town. 41.708. That is an electric time out of that young man in second place.
Unbelievable. Put him midfield in the senior max class at the moment. So unbelievable lap from Joseph as he looks on the inside of Troy Dolenchik, gets the move done. Nice, neat and tidy as they head to the second part of Golf Club. So no option on the switchback from Troy. But I don't think Troy's going to take that one lying down. As Akil Alibai now looking for second place.
Akil Alibai is going to be the spoiler here for the Cape Town boys. He definitely wants to make it a Gauteng win at the front end at their home track. Ulls and Dolenchik going to have to be very wary of Alibai in the RKT. He is all over the back of them and looking pretty tasty right now and up for the challenge, that's for sure.
Oh, what a move again.
Sure, that was a hard move. Forcing Ulls wide allows Alibai to come through as well. Sorry to jump in on you there, Carl, but that was a massive move.
Yeah, I was going to say, big late move. Joseph had to be clever and get out of that one. If he tried to still turn it in, that would have been ended with tears with both of them.
Still got a chance to come back, though. There's enough time, 2.5 laps to go. As they come flying through Golf Club into the pit chicane.
Akil looking hungry now. He's wanting to make his move early because it didn't seem like he had the pace to run with him. He was just kind of hanging on. So if he's clever enough now and gets a move, he can maybe walk away with a win here.
Akil Levi's got to time it, though. He's got to make sure that Ulls doesn't close that gap down anymore and make sure that he gets ahead of Dolenchik at the crucial time. Now, Dolenchik will know exactly what to do in this scenario. He's been here on a few occasions at regional level, and of course at the club championships that they hold here at Killarney International Kart Circuit. As they come through, watch out. There you go, looks over the shoulder, places the kart to perfection, goes inside, then cuts back.
Whoa.
Wow!
2 movements there.
Yeah, definitely 2 moves there from
Nose
Dolenchek.
cut off.
And Levi had no answer, had to come out of that.
Yeah, I gave him a bit of plastic surgery on the nose cone there.
Yeah, just enough to not get a nose cone infringement. Across the line, there we go, 1 to go. Oh, it's on. It is definitely on here. Dolenchek sliding into turn 1 and Levi around the outside. That might give Ools a chance to dive on the inside. It does. Ools going through and makes it stick. So he had to have a go. He had to have a go there, Levi, and it didn't quite work out for him, but he's still got some time to play.
Yeah, Ools focusing now on defending the second place, so he's lost the gap on Troy Dolenchek there and basically gave him the win. He's just too far ahead now without a mistake. No mistakes, and Troy Dolenchek will walk away with this win.
I think that's what Dolenchek was trying to do on the last pass. It was done a little bit less hectically, though, by Joseph Ools. Diving to the inside line and then coming across and just placing the kart in the middle of the track to fend off Akila Levi. But they're not going to beat this man. He's going to come through for the final victory of the day. In Heat 3, it's Dolenchek ahead of Ools and Akila Levi in 3rd place. Tate Bishop, not too far off the back end of them. A super run from him, also getting down into the 41s. In fact, 4 of the top 5 getting into the 41 second bracket. Carl Visser being one of them, just behind Tate Bishop for that 5th place. So there you have Dolenchek, Ools, Levi, Bishop and Visser, your top 5. Mokoena eventually finished in 6th ahead of Kutsia Bungani. It's Gulp, Brooks, Lanfear and Kian Vanelli in the top 12.
Yeah, no, race there was good. It was a long race. It was difficult to keep my stamina. It was a long race. And we just kept on going. I kept my head down and I had to push the whole race. At the end, last 2 laps, it got a bit close. The other 2 caught up. Akil and Joseph caught up. So I had to defend the last 2 laps, but other than that, it was a good race.
But it was a ding-dong in the beginning. Swapping places, then this one in front, then that one in front. But it was very physical.
Yes, it was very tiring. I mean, 20 lap race is very difficult around this track. This is a very demanding track.
But feeling good after the first round here at Cape Town?
Yeah, I think we did a good job, but first 2 races for today could have been better. The first 2 heats could have been better.